So before we start and jump into the questions, can you quickly just introduce yourself? That'd be great.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I just want to thank you for the opportunity. It's great to have this interview with you. I already have books from your esteemed company in AI agent and agentic AI engineering. You have great portfolio in this domain. So I am Karim Nabil. I am an Egyptian AI engineer, but I graduated from mechanical engineering department. I was the first of my department. So I worked for a while as a teaching assistant at the engineering faculty, teaching
Mhm.
students topics related to mechanical engineering, vibration control, and so on. But actually, mechanical engineering wasn't my thing. I was so interested in technology. So
Mhm.
I joined a lot of competitive programming competitions, and I was focused on algorithms and data structures and the basics of software engineering. So when I left the university, I firstly worked as a business development engineer in
Mhm.
things related to oil and gas and oil services and so on. So it gave me quite a good background in business, not just technical stuff. And after business development, I worked for a while as a product manager, AI product manager, with a
Right.
startup whose founders are people from Microsoft, AWS, and Meta in
Mhm.
Canada, in England, GCC, and so on. So I learned a lot of things about AI and AI agents from them, and that's why I firstly joined them, because I wanted to turn from the business and product side to the technical part. So
Mhm.
that shift came through them. So I learned a lot from them. I self-studied a lot of things about AI engineering and Gen AI especially. Then I found an opportunity to deliver a course about N8N on YouTube.
Yeah.
And Alhamdulillah, that course found a lot of outreach, a lot of exposure, because in Arabic content there wasn't a lot. 1 year ago, there wasn't a lot of courses or content about AI agentic engineering in general, yeah, and
Right.
especially in it. So my course has now about 600,000 views on YouTube organically. So it's a good milestone in my life. And I work as a senior AI engineer for a company called FPT Software. It's a Vietnamese company, and they operate in around 30 countries around the globe, and they have like 80,000 employees. I am the only AI engineer from the Arab world, or they have a lot of engineers here in the Arab world, but I'm the only African and Arabic speaker AI engineer with them. So I especially work on the GCC governments with
Mhm.
clients there. I have one mega client now. They have a portfolio of plus 100 billion USD now. I can't, of course, reveal the name of the client,
Right.
but that's me. That's me right now.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kareem, for that. I'll start with a few generic questions. I mean, you have a unique talent for explaining complex AI automation in a very fun and accessible way, looking at your course that you published. So, as a speaker and an educator, do you find that the biggest hurdle for businesses today isn't the AI itself, but the fear of losing the human touch in sales automation?
So that's a very good question, actually. I think the first hurdle or the first obstacle is the awareness of itself. So
Mhm.
when you don't know what AI can help you with, you won't be able to use AI because you don't know that it exists, or that AI can solve any problem you have. So the first problem is the awareness. The second one is the safety, because when you speak with AI, any AI chatbot, and it starts hallucinating, and then you try to put this AI in your finance data, or in your sales data, you start fearing of this hallucination can repeat with my data. So I can lose my data, I can lose my clients, I can lose my reputation of my company if it sends an email. And again, because you don't know that there are several solutions for this hallucination, there are human in the loop, there are a lot of things, but You don't know. You're actually a business guy. You want to
Right.
implement this thing, and you fear of it. And the third part, of course, the resistance from human workforce, because AI has been like marketing to as something that will alternate people. It will do their job. It will be a replacement for a lot of jobs, and that's not the full picture. Yeah. Of course, AI companies will market themselves in this way because they collect a lot and huge investment, and they like want
Right.
to convince their investors we will achieve more and more. Yeah. But in real world, AI augmentation is more applicable. So you are a salesperson, you use AI to like enhance your productivity and enhance the outcomes you achieve. And for us as software, we all use like Cursor, Claude, and so on. And you just prompt them to do something, and you go to sit with your kid or to like eat or to do something. So it enhances your productivity and give you much more time. So to recap, the first thing is the awareness. They don't know what AI capabilities are. The
Mhm.
second thing is fear of on their safety, on their privacy, and so on. And the third one is resistance from human being. Not because business people want to have more human beings in their workforce or they trust people more, but because the resistance and the marketing. So we speak about extreme opposites here. The marketing side from AI company, AI will do anything and everything, and we speak about GAI and so on. And the
Mhm.
resistance from business people or even technical people who are afraid of AI taking their position. AI can't do anything. AI is a mess. AI is a joke. But we have to sit in between them. It's realistic new technology that can help us, and
Right.
when I use them as an employee, it can like boost my skills. And a business, when I like implement it with expertise, with expert people, it can help me achieve more without firing people or without losing the safety of my data.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah. My next question is on the N8N uh, custom code. So you have built end-to-end sales processes in N8N. When building for a real practical workshop, at what point does a low-code tool like N8N hit a ceiling? Like, do you find yourself writing custom JavaScript nodes for reasoning more often as agents become more complex?
Okay. So I think that depends on how you design the system. So
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of people, when they speak about no code or low code platforms or frameworks, just like N8N, Make.com, Zapier, or Opal, and a lot of tools, we have a lot of tools now. They think that okay, it's no code tool, so I don't need to engineer anything. I just jump into the tool and start building anything, and at the end of the day, it will work. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you speak as an engineer that tries to build a sales system, a marketing system, a business side system, you start by engineering that system. So you will decide at the first step, even before you open N8N or you use any tool, what should I do is the second question. Because the first question will be, why do I need to build this system? What is the problem? What is the challenge that business people
Right.
faces in this area? And based on that why, you will decide what to use in this system. So I will build only one LLM to do something, and everything else will be through code or through like specific nodes. Or no, this specific case, this specific challenge need me to like architect a full agentic AI system, several AI agents that will work together to achieve that thing. So it's not about building a fancy workflow that you can share on LinkedIn and people will give likes. It's about
Mhm.
solving a real problem, a real business problem. So yes, you can use code in it in and start writing JavaScript. Even if you don't know JavaScript, you can use AI to like implement that code.
Yeah.
Or and at different cases you only use the LLM, the AI to handle the case, and with guardrails and circumstances and a certain system prompt you can achieve what you want. But it's not about like implementing AI everywhere, and it's not about implementing code everywhere because I don't love AI. because technical people always think about the system. I want to build something fascinated, something fancy, something that I can share with my colleagues, and they will like be impressed of what I can. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we all have a business goal to achieve. If you build the best system in the world with a lot of parallelization, a lot of design systems, a lot of so on, but it doesn't achieve anything, or it like waste a lot of time, or latency or cost, it's in
Mhm.
vain. So my answer for your question is it depends on the business goal you want to achieve, and tool like N8N is flexible enough to handle a lot of scenarios here.
Got it. Makes sense. And on the agentic sales pipeline, like in your AI sales automation course, you talk about the end-to-end process. Like how do you handle memory and context across long-term sales cycles? Does the agent remember a lead's specific pain points from a month ago, or are you building a separate vector database to handle that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, and I will answer in different two ways. Yeah. First,
Yeah.
for the current course or the current workshop, and the second is for general. What should we think about here? So for the current workshop, it's just an AI automation workflow. So we don't use we only use one AI agent for a specific task. So let's say you are a salesperson, so you know the whole workflow you implement every day without AI, without coding, just your job, your daily job. So you
Mhm.
start like with lead generation. I search for leads for my company, then I'll start to collect information about these leads to create some sort of personalization when I send them emails, and then I will follow up if they don't reply. If they reply, I will make sure they are interested and send a meeting link. Okay, so the first step when you try to build something similar to this system is to speak with the expert matter. The matter experts is a subject matter experts, people
Yeah.
from sales background. And once you know what they exactly do, you shift to the second step, which is to draw the system, just to draw it using any tool.
Mhm.
And in the current project, I created a workshop about the situation was with actually it wasn't like educational workshop. It was from a real case with a real client in Bahrain. They are a
Mhm.
marketing agency, so we build the workflow they followed. So in this case, in the current case, we don't depend on AI agents to remember things. We like store every we have a CRM. We created a CRM on Notion, and we use
Mhm.
this CRM as a reference for the steps we take, every like milestone on the workflow. So we collect the lead generation in a sheet, and then we start a coding filtration. So we don't use AI in the first step, because if you don't have the company name, if you don't have the email of the key person, you don't use this lead actually. So a
Right.
first filtration step to like make sure we have the data in the table. Then after collecting these leads data, we start like searching online to find specific information about this specific lead. Then we can do that personalization step. So in this step of the workflow, we stop and think, can we like use code? Because code is free. AI agent will cost you. So you always think firstly of the code. So
Mhm.
can I achieve this using code? And of course you can't, because you need some reasoning to find specific information. So we will use an LLM. So does an LLM, pure LLM, like can achieve this step, can find live information? And of course it doesn't, because it's a pre-trained and so on. So I now need to give this LLM the ability to search online. So I need an AI agent. So
Right.
this is the thinking process when you build this system. Will I use code because it's free and simple to implement using AI now? No, and it doesn't. So can I use just the LLM because it will just call an API and it will less expensive? No, I need an AI agent to call tools and it will be more expensive, but it will achieve the thing I need. So we use an online search AI agent here to like collect information from the internet about that lead, and
Mhm.
then another LLM to create that personalized email. So in every step, in every update on the step, so lead collected, email is created now, we update the CRM status. So we didn't need AI agent to remember across the whole workflow. It's just update the status on the CRM. And in every step, so after 2 weeks, let's say we have a trigger that works, a cron job that works every 3 days, for example, to make sure that lead replied to our email or not. It just every 3 days the trigger is invoked, and the AI agent or the LLM or the code itself will go to that CRM, like it check the status of that lead. If the status said that we sent the email already, it will go and check. Okay, we sent the email 3 days ago. Let's make sure this lead replied to us or not. If it replies, it will update that status. If not,
Yeah.
it will just send a follow-up email. So we didn't use memory in this application. We because again, AI companies like uses marketing as like the AI agent can do everything. The AI agent will remember anything, but it's not the case. So
Mhm.
you don't you actually not don't you must not you don't have to you shouldn't depend on the AI agent capabilities. So to remember everything, to use every single tool. So
Mhm.
you put constraints here, and you just try to help the AI agent as much as possible. So we just built a separated CRM to help the AI agent to know the steps and the current status of every lead. This is the current project. In like general, when you build a sales system, the memory thing is actually the memory thing is more important in chatting. When you build a conversational AI agent or conversational chatbot, because people will or users will speak with it, and they expect a reply, and they will reply back. So you need to remember the context and the chats. But
Mhm.
in workflows that has no input from the user, it's just steps, and the AI agent follow the steps. Maybe you don't need, in several cases you don't need even any memory, but you will need a vector database. It's a different thing. Let's distinguish between memory and knowledge base. The
Mhm.
memory is something just like our memory. You asked me about my son's name. I will use my memory to remember. Okay, my wife told me that his name is Yahya, so his name is Yahya.
Yeah.
So you use your memory to remember things
Mhm.
that maybe short term or long term, just like something happened in the last 2 hours or something from my childhood. But vector database is about knowledge. So something I studied, right?
Right.
So something I took in my university, in my prep school, and so on. And in much more simple example, when you use, let's say, WhatsApp or Telegram or Facebook and so on, Messenger, chatting tools, yani, applications. In WhatsApp, let's say I chat with you now. I sent you a message, you replied back. And after 3 hours, we will start a new session. So a session, let's say, is 1 hour session. That's what we call
Mhm.
a short-term memory. I want my AI agent, that conversational one, to remember like 2 hours, the whole 2 hours, the whole message is there. If you say hi, I replied saying hi. What's your name? My name is Karim. How are you? I am fine. I want the AI agent to remember that short-term memory, that session, the whole session, all message there. But
Mhm.
if I keep like saving messages, I will run out of memory. I will like it will be very costly to like reply for every single message. So after 2 hours, I want to delete all of this. But in several applications to make a better user experience, let's say I am an AI chatbot for a bank, and you come now to ask about your account. If
Yeah.
every single time you come to like WhatsApp that chatbot, it asks you about your name, it's a very bad user experience,
Right.
because I replied like 1 week ago and told you my name, my address, and so on. So we need that chatbot to remember just important information, right? So I needed to remember your name like for 3 years, not just 2 hours. So this what we
Exactly.
call a long-term memory. So we need to store preferences. We need to store like the name, the contacts, and very important data for a very long term. But for every single message, it's just short term. So this is the memory. There is another thing I want, like, let's say a customer support AI agent. We are a restaurant, and people come to
Mhm.
us to speak with our WhatsApp or Telegram to like order some meal for their lunch. I want this AI chatbot not to have memory. It's not something it comes from like chatting with users. I want it to have knowledge, to have data about what we do. So that's the vector database. We like upload our PDFs, our menu, our so on, and
Yeah.
that AI agent, let's say for simplicity, has access to read these PDFs. So when I come to this AI agent and ask, okay, what do you have for lunch today? It goes to this PDF, reads it, and has the knowledge of the menu that we have today, and just to reply. It's not a memory. It's something that it has access to read from to as a knowledge. So
Correct.
for the sales pipeline or for sales automation, AI automation, we can use. We don't need the memory, as I mentioned. We can just store in CRM the status and so on. And people don't speak with that AI agent in sales, but we still need that vector database, that knowledge, because let's say in personalization step, I know now that this company like have like opened the new markets in the GCC,
Yeah.
and my company that I am a salesperson in like sells furniture in GCC, let's say. So I need my AI agent that would be responsible to write email for them to know that we already have furniture in GCC, to has
Right.
this knowledge. So I connect it to my PDFs. So I use that vector database, that knowledge base, to help my AI agent propose the right things to the right company based on the information it collected. So vector database is very useful as knowledge base, but
Yeah.
again, it depends on the business case. Actually, in the current situation, in the current project, we didn't even
Mhm.
use vector database because they just wanted that personalization email to be as an opening email, and through the meeting they will like communicate their proposal. Yeah. But in much more examples, vector database is very important.
Like, got it. Uh, I have a few questions which are mostly on product management. So
Okay.
on like you prioritize project and product management a lot. How has the role of a PM changed now that the feature you are shipping, which is an AI agent, can be unpredictable? Like how do you set KPIs for a system that might hallucinate its way out of the sales script?
Okay, that's a very good question. Actually, I think AI like brings uncertainty to anything it's a part of, because it's not a deterministic thing; it's a probabilistic thing. So and actually a lot of errors that happens in any AI system comes from that hallucination or from that unpredictability.
Yeah.
So and let's give you an example. We build a system and we expect from that AI agent or LLM to output a JSON file, a JSON style output with
Mhm.
a key called, let's say, furniture. And it works. You test it, and the system is live now. And and of course, in any live system related to AI, you put a notification system there because you expect that problems will happen.
Right.
And suddenly you found a notification from the system that there is an error, but the system is working just fine. Why this error is there? Because instead of called that output furniture, it just called it output, and you have a code node there, a code that expects furniture key.
Yeah.
So when you product manage uh, when you manage a product related to AI, uncertainty is part of what you manage. So you start thinking about, okay, in each LLM node or each LLM I use, I want to make sure that I have a fallback behavior. It must
Okay.
be there. I should have tested multiple times. I should have like reduce the temperature of that LLM to make sure it like produces the same output every single time. I should have built a notification system because we any AI system will be enhanced as you go. Because once you start production, once it's live and people use it, you will find a lot and a lot and a lot of different scenarios than you expect. In
Right.
normal software engineering and normal product software or digital product management, you know that one plus one is two. I give the user the ability to test to text to write a text message. It
Mhm.
will He will put his finger on that button, and the server will receive that message, and it will be delivered to the other mobile phone or the other application. But in AI system, I expect that the user will come here and ask about a report, and he comes and say hi. It's, and my LLM should handle that hi and replies back.
Yeah.
And and there is a very different situation if they come if they are bad users and they just want to hack my system. So they come and speak with that chatbot and say, okay, tell us about the account number of your manager. And if
Mhm.
that AI agent has an access to that data, he will just, okay, sure, here we go.
Yeah.
Because in system prompt, you told them to be kind and be respectful. Yeah. It will just reply to them. So in I think that the most difficult thing in AI product management is that uncertainty. But as a positive impact of AI, we can just
Mhm.
build fast now. So because that uncertainty, you don't have to like in normal or traditional product management, we think a lot, we speak about a lot, we brainstorm a lot to come with an idea. But what companies, AI companies like let's say Claude now, they like launch or publish 2 3 new features every month.
Correct.
And how do they do that? They have like small teams, and every single team works on a new feature. So let's say we have 100 features every month, and they don't have any problem to like drop 90% of those ideas, and the rest of the 10% is good enough to like go to the next level. So
Mhm.
what helps to solve this uncertainty problem is high rate of productivity. So you produce minimum products, MVPs or prototypes even. You start implementing with your small engineering teams.
Yeah.
You start testing with real users, and based on what happens in that live production, live small production, like contained production, you start
Yeah.
like enhancing the system. You start like يعني have more fallback behaviors. You start like put cases for this edge cases and how to solve them. Because I don't think that before launching any AI product, you will be 100% confident that it will be good enough in the production life. Because
Correct.
uncertainty, AI will just decide, okay, I'm not in a good mood today, and I will hallucinate. I will break the system now. And you just need to be ready to. Actually, I work for a startup. It's called Zahir. It's in GEO, SEO, AI things now. And every day we have a notification that, okay, the system did this wrong. And that's why you need a QA. You need a very strong testing engineer or quality assurance engineer to
Mhm.
like review every single line, to review every single output. And that's why you just keep enhancing. So that's the most difficult part about product management in the AI field.
Got it. And how, I mean, it might not be the right question for you as you are a product manager more towards the technical side of building the features and building the product. But in terms of QA, how do you think the QA role has shifted from the traditional software engineering to now building agentic AIs?
Hmm. Yeah, so from people I work with nowadays in the QA
Mhm.
field, I think they used to like focus on like predicted bugs. So you know that this system, the user will like click 1 plus 1, and this system should says 2. So
Right.
it may give an error, or it may just say 3 or 5. So they knew exactly where to search, where to like wait for the output to test it and to make sure it was what we expected.
Mm-hmm.
But in nowadays, when you speak about a chatbot AI, that and AI chatbots are everywhere. It's like a tradition now in all companies,
Exactly.
and it's not only about a certain output. You need to like review the whole thing, the whole message. So back to Zahir example, the startup I work with now, they have like a dashboard. So you give them, let's say, packed URL, and they will search who are the like author. I don't know what you call it, but companies in book
Authors.
industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, books and yani companies in book industry that people search about, let's say in ChatGPT and Gemini and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And we collect all data and start analyzing them. So one of the insights we give, if your brand was mentioned in the AI response,
Yeah.
and we have a sophisticated QA engineer now. She is very well experienced. So that mentioned, to give that insight, we have like analysis approach and methodology to make sure if that brand is mentioned or not. Because you can ask, let's say, ChatGPT, uh, is Apple a good company? And in sometimes before AI agents, LLM would respond and say, okay, I don't know anything about Apple. It's sometimes it just doesn't have access, or don't know anything about what you ask about. So here is the answer is, I don't know anything about Apple. Apple
Mm-hmm.
is there, but this answer is not mentioned because it doesn't know anything. So there is the logic there.
Yeah.
So in like traditional QA, I I won't yeah, like get that deep in insights, in every single insight, and the logic of the insight. I I just used to make sure it produces the output in a
Yeah.
right format, right style or not. But now AI QA, you need to like read, you need to know the logic of that analysis, that insight. So I think AI, like as it did in every single job, it make the surface like more unimportant. You need to go
Mm-hmm.
deep, 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 very so deep to make sure that it works right. And a lot of people just like use AI to keep themselves on the surface. So I will use AI to generate code, to
Yeah.
generate test cases, to like analyze the output, and I won't even try to understand how coding works, how things work, how things are
Sorry, Kareem, I lost you for like 4 5 seconds.
Okay, I was just saying that a lot of people is using AI now to keep themselves on the surface of the knowledge. So I don't need to understand how coding works, how test cases is written. I will just ask ChatGPT or Gemini to do so, and that's a huge the huge like mistake, because after a while AI is like uh, يعني has a lot of progression every day. So after a while,
Right.
this surface will be fully automatic, fully autonomous. The test cases will write themselves. The code will write itself. So we need people who has that deep knowledge, deep understanding to the basics, to how things work, to how things are like evaluated. So don't just keep yourself on the surface because it can help you. It will replace you after a while.
Got it. Yeah. All right. My next question is on the source of light philosophy. So I was going through your LinkedIn, and in your about section, it was mentioned that finding a source of light in dark places through trust. So how does this philosophy influence your leadership style at FPT Software? especially when dealing with the high pressure deadlines of global AI implementations.
Okay, okay, okay. So I think that the norm of the lifestyle we live, the world we live in now, is pressure is everywhere. So stress is everywhere. Even if you have what you want, even if يعني, even if you work the job you wanted to work, and even if you have the home or the house you dreamed of, you still have like external pressure, external stress that you're not enough, you have a lot more to do, you have a lot more to achieve. But uh, as Muslim, we know that everything comes from Allah. So it's not about being smart. It's not about being hard worker. It's not about being the best one in AI, the most knowledgeable one, because you already know all of us around the whole globe have friends that are, they are smarter than us.
Right.
They are hard working more than us, but you, let's say, have much more salary than them. You have a better position than them. So in Islam we understand that Allah gives all of us the right things for all of us. So
Mhm.
if even if you are in darkness now, because we all like had been through bad times, difficult times, hard times. Actually, yesterday I closed a project that I spent like 1 year and 1.5 year on it and lost a lot of money, but it didn't work.
Mhm.
And the day before yesterday, I was like delivering a speech, a talk to high schoolers about how to enter the AI domain and to be successful in this domain. So, am I a successful person or am I a loser? Actually, we are all the both. We are all
Right.
both. So, in darkness, it's not a problem. Allah puts you there to learn something, or to even have a story to tell people about, to like inspire people after a while. So okay, I was there, I didn't have money, I was broken, but now okay, I am in a good position in a multinational company.
Yeah.
That time when you was in the darkness, you didn't feel that things will be better. But after a while, after going through that difficult time, you have two option. Okay, I forget, I just keep moving as if I never had a bad time, or you can like stand up for a second and think of that bad time. What did I learn from that? How did
Yeah.
I deal with that dark time? I was very stressful. I thought I lost hope. I didn't find anything or anyone to help me. But now I have a lot of person. I am the same person in the darkness and in the light. What is the difference between those two? Is that I am smart. So if there is a smarter person, I would hate them or I would try not to work with them. Or the differentiator between the darkness and the light is trust in Allah, that Allah will help me here and help me there and will guide me through that difficult time. So
Mhm.
this what I try to do with people or to teach people. So I don't have any fear to speak about my failures on LinkedIn. I posted that post yesterday that we closed the project and we like surrendered and we are loser in this project. No problem,
Mhm.
because it's a part of being human being to go through this darkness, to go through these
Right.
failures. And I know on LinkedIn a lot of people like try to be like perfect. They always
Perfect. Yeah.
do the right thing, the right decision, the right position, the right money, the right investment, but it's not the life, it's not the real life. We all lose and win. And I think my job here as a Muslim is to help people see this. If you are in a bad place, a darkness, I was there as well. And it's I didn't go out of there or through that difficult time because I am stronger than you or smarter than you. No, we are the same. Allah helped me. So I want you also to trust Allah to get through that bad time. And even if you are again in bad time, just remember that Allah will help you. So you don't like lose yourself or lose hope. And it's my main objective in life, to help people find through this difficult time and darkness.
That's lovely. My one last question that's on the knowledge gaps, actually. I mean, since you are also an educator, uh, I have, like, through my newsletter and portfolio management, I am trying to identify where the education gap is, like what's missing. So, as an instructor, what do you think is the number one thing students and even professional AI engineers are missing when they try to build agentic systems? Like, is it a lack of understanding in prompt engineering, or is it a lack of systems thinking regarding how data flow between nodes?
So I think the first gap, and it's very clear when you have business acumen, so you are from business and technical background, you start seeing that the gap is in that why component. So a lot of technical people just jump to implementation because
Yeah.
something of the two reasons. Yeah, they just love technical thing, that's why they work in this domain, and they love coding and using N8N and just typing on the keyboard, or because they don't care about the business value. It's not my job, it's not my KPI, I will get my salary even it works or not, so I don't need to. But if you searched for the best candidates in any company, the people that
Mhm.
gets the highest salary or that companies that chase and try to headhunt every day, they have that business technical knowledge. So I think the gap, the very clear gap, is to teach technical people how to think about the problem itself before jumping into the solution. And this is what I do actually in my new series on YouTube, yeah, Advanced N8N. We didn't open N8N till now. It's 4 videos now, and we don't even come to N8N. We speak about the problem, the product management, how to think in AI product management. Why do you like decide to use that approach or that one? Because it's a very important when you speak about like high speed systems now. You can build a complete tool, an end-to-end tool in 2 days now.
Mhm.
And if you just think as an engineer that wants like sophisticated buttons and good looking system and great backend, you will lose a lot of time. Even if you can build fast, you will still lose a lot and a lot of time, because
Yeah.
you are in, you spend 2 days, you will feel that often stated, and if you like left that product, you will try to make it better and push people to use, and actually it doesn't solve any problem, so people will never use it. So that product management, or let's call it technical business acumen, to
Mhm.
let technical people understand the business side and why to decide to do so or that, it's a very clear gap. And the second one, because we speak about technical gaps, I think the architecture design, the solution architecture, because a lot of AI automation engineers now are not from a technical background. They just like me. I didn't graduate from a computer science faculty. I am an engineer, but
Mhm.
a mechanical engineer at the very beginning, because but I focused on the basics and the competitive programming and how to optimize your system. That's my edge now. And a lot of people, because they are not from the technical background, they jumped into AI automation or AI engineering. They don't focus on that part, how to architect a system, how to build a solution, and to build that system. They just jump into a workflow or coding without like imagining where they are going. So the business acumen and the system architecture, I think gaps are huge there.
Got it. All right, actually, these were the questions that I had. Karim, first of all, I would like to say this, like, whenever I talk to any tech expert, most of them have, they use a lot of technical jargons. You genuinely have that rare skill of explaining the technical concepts in a very fun and accessible way. So, thank you so much for doing that.
No, again, I want to really thank you for this opportunity. I love to speak to people about what I love. My passion is there in AI automation and agentic AI. And of
Yeah.
course, to make things simple in this field, I adore this. Alhamdulillah that Allah gave me this capability to make
Mhm.
things like easier. But this actually Einstein said one time that if you explain it and it is still difficult for people, that means you don't understand it. So I
Yeah,
think I
exactly.
quite understand these things here. So, but thank you for this opportunity, of course.
All right, then, Kareem, thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you. I really enjoyed the entire conversation.
Thanks, actually. It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah.